Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and today's video is going to be the first video in season 2 of the Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse bike. I've been riding it all summer to and from work, and I haven't had any problems with it really, other than it's smoking a little bit, and I want to do some accessories to it. I'm going to finish building some side cases on the back, and I want to change the handlebars, and there's a bunch of little things I want to do to it, but the most important thing is I want to figure out why it's smoking. It's smoking, still smoking. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I'm gonna have to open it up and have a look. I'm not even sure what side of the engine it's on, but here she is here. And it's full in its glory. I got it in the shop. I had to take care of a couple of other smaller projects and get them off my plate so I can get this thing in here and yeah, start doing some work to it. So I'm not sure which side the engine's smoking. I think that's this cylinder that's smoking on the right side. I'm not 100% sure though. It's got a 2 into 1 exhaust, so it's hard to tell just by looking at the pipes which side it's smoking. I think I'm gonna start by pulling the plugs, and I'll do a compression test and kind of start from there. And then if I'm still not sure which side it's on by looking at the inside, I think it might be slitted up inside of here too. So, but if I'm not 100% sure, I might run it and just see which side spits out the smoke. Just take this off and just run it. It might be a little noisy, but it should tell me right away what's smoking and what's not. But before I get the engine hot, I'll do a compression test and take the pipe off and that kind of stuff. And then I'm not sure how this is going to go, if I'm going to end up be able to fix it. I'm probably, gonna have to take the engine out of the frame because I can't get the head off or anything to look at the rings and pistons and valves, and I can't even take the valves or the head off without taking it out of the frame. So it's it's a bit of a major, and so yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna end up fixing this engine, or I've got another one. I've got another XS 650 engine on that stand. I might rebuild that. I've got a few other engines in storage in my other shed there. So, and I got another XS 650 bike in the back. It's got an engine. It's seized up though. So, but between 4 or 5 engines, we should be able to get one going. That's the plan, anyways. I'd like to keep this one though, because everything works on it pretty good. It was kind of hanging up, like there's a very seldom, but a few times I'd be downshifting into, all the way into first, and you'd be going third, second, and then you go to first, and it would hang up in neutral for some reason, which is really odd. Usually it's hard to find neutral, and then it was just, there was nothing there, and then I'd click it back in the second, and then it would fall right through into first. So not sure why that is, but if I end up getting it all apart, I'll look into that too. But everything else is working good. All the lights are working. It's a fun little bike to ride to work. It's just great. It's so dirty at work where I work. It's a gravel pit, and in the summer it's just dusty. So you don't want to take a nice vehicle there because it just gets covered in dust. And so this is perfect. I don't have to wash it. Any dust or anything on there makes it look better, right? So at least that's the way I look at it. And yeah, and then down here I've got a couple ideas for, I want to put some side cases on here. I'm not exactly sure. I've got some ideas in my head, but I haven't ironed out any solid plans yet. I might end up building my own rack and not exactly sure how this is gonna go, but I'll worry about that later. And another thing I want to do, which is a fun project, is I want to go to a single carb on this bike, and I want to make my own intake manifold and have it go 1 into 2, and somehow put a carb off the side. I was thinking of doing the carb on this side. My plan was, because when the bike's another thing I got to do is fix the kickstand, because the bike's too tall now. So when I put the stock kickstand out, it leans over too far, like it's almost tipping over. So I got to adjust that, make it longer, or put a whole different one on it somewhere else. But my plan for putting the single carb on this side is, if it's on the side stand and it's leaning over and it rains when you're out somewhere, you know, I normally keep my bikes under cover, but let's, you know, if you're out somewhere and it happens to rain, and the rain just goes right down inside the carburetor, something about putting it on this side that bothers me. So you got this carb, you know, sticking out here, and the bike's leaned over, now it's tipped up, and you've got a direct path right into the engine. And and if it was on this side, the bike would be leaning over, and anything that would hit it would just run out. Anyways, that's my thinking on it. I don't know how it's all going to work out yet, but that's just my idea in my head right now. And I like the idea of having 1 carb instead of 2, just for simplicity. And with these engines, they're a 360-degree engine, so each time the crank goes around, one fires, and then the other one fires. So basically, it's like you can do the same thing with 1 carb. It's just the 1 carb is kind of doing double duty, because it's, instead of just working every second time the crank goes around, it's pulling fuel through it every time the crank goes around. So it's just passing more fuel, twice as much fuel through it. Yeah, it should work on 1. The only thing is when you build the intake manifold, you gotta do it in such a way that 1 cylinder doesn't favor, like it doesn't have an easier route to 1, because then you kind of lean out the other, and then you richen the other cylinder. So you kind of got to make it, at least in my mind, that's the way I'm thinking, you kind of got to make it so it just doesn't, it's not easier to put more fuel on one side than the other. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm not, you guys might know more about that, but that's my thinking on the matter. So I kind of have to design it in a way that I don't lean out one side or richen up one side, and it runs smoothly. So that's something that I want to do this season. Another thing, I want to change these handlebars. I want to put more of a dirt bike handlebar in with the crossbar, have them come up a little bit, and I want to get some kind of like bark buster thing on here, little hand protectors, and I can make them look all like you know, battle ready, you know, ready for the zombie apocalypse. Make them look all kind of rough and cool, and I don't know, big spikes on them. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. We'll see what I come up with. Now these are the mirrors that are off my FE350. I actually, the ones that I had on here, they folded out of the way, and I like those ones actually, so I'm gonna put them back on here. I took my dirt bike out, and I like those mirrors, so I put them on the dirt bike because I could fold them in when I was in the bush. So I like that. So we're putting them back on. And what else? I might have to change some of the lights. This fender here, I like the way it is right now, but I want to adjust it a little bit. I want to maybe move it out. I think it's too far back, so I want to move this out, maybe out to here, and then reattach it. And it's so close to the pipe, like if you look at, here, I'll show you on this side. It's it's like practically touching the pipe right here. You know, it doesn't touch it though, but it's like, you know, it's almost like a couple thousandths of an inch away from the header there. So I want to change that, and it'd be nice to get a new chain for it. This is just a piece together chain that I put on here, so maybe I'll be putting like a new chain on it, or a better chain. And then I want to change this side stand. It's too short. It doesn't work very well. And yeah, and then I'm probably sure I've forgotten a couple ideas I had, but oh yeah, I wanted to make different. I don't know if we'll get to it, but another thing I want to do is I want to maybe, you know, if I'm lucky, I'd like to make my own exhaust and have it, you know, somehow come up and down the side here instead of underneath. I think that would be cool. Have the exhaust. See, I don't know, it's going to interfere with the kickstand or the Kickstarter here. I want to keep this though. So, and then, you know, and then you don't want it to burn your leg. So, I don't know. I'll look into that too. That's another thing I'd like to get into is, you know, take a bunch of old exhaust pipes and cut them and weld them and try to make like it's like a dual exhaust come down up high. I think that would be kind of cool too. Anyways, so that's kind of what I have planned for this bike this fall winter season. And it'll take me a bit because a lot of those things, you know, will take a little bit to work out, so it won't happen quickly. But that's kind of why I'm doing it now in the winter time when I can't ride. And yeah, anyways, let's get started here, and I'm going to do a compression test, have a look at these spark plugs, pull off the exhaust and have a look and try to figure out which cylinder is smoking, and then see where the compression's at. If it's low, maybe dump some oil down there and see if it brings it up. Maybe that's a ring problem I got. I'm just not sure yet, so we're gonna look into it right now. And the right side plug, I'm gonna take it out and have a look. I haven't pulled this plug since I put all this together early in the year, so we'll have a look and see how she's running. I think it's going to be black, but we'll see. There's so many details about this engine that I like. One of them is it takes a standard spark plug wrench. That kind of stuff, I just really like that. You know, no messing around, just take a standard spark plug. You don't need to be fancy. You know, just want to check my plugs. I don't want to have to go and get a special wrench to do it. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, carboned right up. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, there's lots of soot on there. Okay, so that's that one. So now we'll go around the other side and we'll pull the other side. Okay, so now we're on the left side of the engine. Pull this cap off there. We'll see if my hunch is right. If it's smoking on the right side or not. I suspect this one will be a lot cleaner than the other one. Yeah, it's kind of black too. It's got lots of carbon on it. Yeah. It's a little better than the other side, but not great. It's definitely got lots of carbon on it. This engine was running rich too, like the fuel mixture has always seemed to be a bit rich. I can never get it to run, you know, properly. It ran okay, but it always seemed like it was running rich to me. Yeah, so this is the right side, that's the left side. They look about the same, really. Huh. Alright, I'll check the compression on the right side here. This should just turn in like so. And then I'll pop this puppy on. This thing on. There we go. See if I can put a wire on here. There. There, that's more civilized, eh? Okay, we'll do a compression test. Okay, so throttle open all the way. Let's see what we got. So yeah, it says it's like 145, almost 150. 150 is right there. So that's pretty good. Alright, well, we'll check the other side. Okay. Okay, so left side, throttle wide open. It looks slightly more. It's very similar, but so it'd be like 153. So 145, 153 on this side. So it's slightly better on this side. Not by much though. Okay. So let's we'll try putting a little bit of oil down on the right side and see if that changes it. Okay, a little bit of engine oil, 1030 going down the cylinder. We'll put this compression, we'll do a test with some oil and see if that changes anything. Okay. Okay, right cylinder with engine oil down it, throttle wide open. Oh yeah, big difference there. Look at that. Okay, so the compression, it's like all the way up to like 200 and what's that, 220? Yeah, compression jumped all the way up to 220. There's oil down the cylinder, so maybe we got a ring problem. Let's check the other side. Okay, left side, getting a little bit of oil down it. There we go. Okay, left side, oil down the cylinder, throttle wide open. I got the same result here. So that one's 220. There's 200 right there. 250 is right there. So about 220. So basically the same. Alright, so add rings. Yeah, so turn this thing on. And hopefully this will show up. So I was looking down the cylinder, and do you guys see those score marks on the cylinder? I don't know if it's coming up, but there's score marks all over this cylinder. So that could be part of the problem, or the problem. Yeah, right. I mean, they're everywhere. I honed this cylinder out really good too when I put it together. Yeah. I mean, those are definite score marks. So something's not right there. And then if I go around to the other side, I'll put it down. They're not, I don't have any score marks. It's clear. There's oil in there from when I did my compression test and stuff. I mean, there's a couple of score marks over here, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Sorry. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there's score marks on that side too. Yeah. That doesn't look right to me. So I think, yeah, there's a bunch there too. Something going on with that. So, well, several days later, and I had a bunch of stuff I had to do, so I got sidetracked. But it's the weekend now, so I'm gonna do some more work on it. And so you've seen the images on the bore scope there, how it's got the scores in the cylinder, and the compression test shows me that the rings might be getting worn out, or they didn't seat properly when I put the pistons in. So the engine's definitely going to be coming out, and I got to open it up and have a look at that. But before I do all that, while it's still together, I want to take this 2-in-1 exhaust off, and I want to put like a dual exhaust on, and then run it and just see if both sides are smoking or if it's just one side is smoking, and kind of get a feel for, you know, what I'm looking for when I'm, you know, when I take it apart, and try to get as much data as I can as I'm going into this. I might do another test where I'll take the pipe off and run it, just to see if it's spitting out any oil or anything like that. I don't know. It's just a thought I had, because it might. I'm thinking if it was like an exhaust valve leaking, like a valve guide seal leaking on the exhaust, it might be coming out and then just blowing out and then burning in the exhaust pipe, and you might not see it smoke if the pipe wasn't on. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking of everything. I'm trying to, you know, get it dialed in here. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by taking this pipe off, and I'll put on an old dual exhaust on just real quick, and then push it outside, and then we'll run it and go from there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna quickly take this pipe off. Good thing about this bike is everything's really easy to come apart, except for the engine having to come out to get the head off. I don't like that, but that's the way she goes. There, that's all there is to it. It should just come off. I should just be able to pop this loose, eh? Where it goes out. There we go. There. So this is the right side. This is the left side over here. And just by looking at it, this one's a lot more black and sooted up. This one is too, but this one's definitely more. I mean, they're both pretty black. But yeah, this one definitely, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera very well, but yeah, this one definitely looks more. Just by handling that 2-in-1 exhaust, my hand got all black just from grabbing it underneath. So it's definitely got some oil in there. Okay, so this should just be a quick little lift this up. Nothing special. tight. Okay, so I'm just going to clean these off before I put them back in, and then we should be good to go. There, that's a lot cleaner now. Just running my feeler gauge. So yeah, the gap's good. It's set at least 30 thou. So that's good. So I'll put them back in, push the bike outside, and we'll run it for a bit. Okay, so I suspect it'll smoke for a bit after I start it up because of that oil I put in the cylinders, but after a while it should clear, and then we should just be right back to the smoke that I've been having problems with. So I'll just choke it a little bit here. anyway, so I ran it there for a bit, and it seemed to be smoking out the other side that I saw it more than the other side. It was yeah, smoking quite a bit out of the left side, but then when I revved it up, it would smoke out the right side as well. So they were both smoking quite a bit. So I don't know, it could have a combination of a couple different problems there. I'm not sure. I wanted to start it up one more time and just make sure it has nothing to do with the residual oil that from when I did the compression test. So we'll run it again, check and make sure it's the same as last time, and then I'll let it cool down, take the pipes off. I'm going to run it with the pipes off and see if it's spitting out any oil. I just want to check that before I take it all apart. Alright. So that last time I ran it, it was smoking quite a bit out both sides. So leaning towards the rings are bad, but you never know until you get it opened up. So I'm going to take these pipes off. Everything's cooled down now, and just going to I'm going to try one more thing before I start taking the engine out. I've got this piece of cardboard just stuck up here in between the fender and the frame, and I want to kind of see two things. I want to see if it still smokes when it's running, and I also want to see if I get some kind of a spray pattern, if I'm getting like oil splattered on here or if it's carbon or what. I'm just curious. Not sure what it'll tell me, but it's just something I wanted to try out. And just seeing if we're getting a lot of oil blowing out of here or what, and if it's still smoking. So we'll start it up and we'll see what happens. It'll probably be kind of noisy, but I think it'll be interesting to see what we got here. Alright. So that's an interesting result. So it's definitely still smoking, but if you look on this side, there's hardly any black stuff on here. But you come around to this side, and it's got a definite, there's definitely more stuff passing through here. So, oh yeah, and you can see it. It's all over the exhaust bolt here. You know, down in here. And that was noisy, eh? So I'm wondering if that's because the valve guide seal is letting oil come down and then it's getting thrown out with the exhaust on this side. That's my theory. You guys probably know more about it than I do. It's just something I was curious to test out. And then I'll get this cardboard out of here and we'll look right in there and see if there's a difference between the two sides. And then later on I'll look at the intake here and see if it's more oily on one side or the other. And other than that, I think it's time for a tear down, and we'll look inside and see what's going on. May have a combination of a couple of different problems. It's definitely smoking hard, so there's definitely, I think, oil getting past the rings, but there might also be oil getting past the valve. So I don't know how that happened. I put new valve guide seals in. Yeah, I'm just not sure. This could just be an abundance of oil getting past the rings. This side definitely looked worse when I put the camera down, so that could just mean that just these rings are more worn out. The other side, I'm just not sure. Just not sure. All right. Just having a look up the right side exhaust port, and she looks pretty crusty in there. Definitely a lot of carbon on that side. So I'll switch over to the left side. This exhaust gasket fell apart here. Yeah, it's pretty oily looking too, but it's quite black. Yeah, there's all kinds of wrong going in there. Okay, so it's engine tear down time. So I gotta get this thing out of the frame. So I probably won't. I'll probably spare you all the trouble of getting this out of the frame. We'll just skip right to having the engine out. But basically all there is to it, I just gotta get the seat off, take the tank off, you know, take these little covers off, take the carbs off, you know, unhook everything, probably pop this off, take the chain off, and then just start undoing all the bolts, and then yeah, I'll just yard it out of there and put it up on the stand and start taking it apart. Yep. Okay, I got the engine out of the bike and on the stand here, and it took me a little bit. I had to get that engine off the stand. It was sitting on there, so I had to lift it off and then take the engine out of the bike. It's sitting outside here, sitting there with no engine in it. And yeah, so just gotta take off a few things here, get this head off, and we'll start looking into why this is blowing so much smoke. There's not much more to do here. I just got to get this oil line off, take these off, off comes the valve cover, and then a couple bolts here, and one back here. Take the head off, and then we'll be in. All right. So I'll work on this for a bit, and I'll bring you back when I go to crack this open. Okay. Everything off now to get the head off, and hopefully it'll reveal something that'll explain why it's smoking so much. So I just gotta kind of release this a little bit. And then let's see if we can get this off without dropping that down there. Oh yeah. Okay. There we go. I'll put that down there for a second. Let's tie this up for a sec. I'll get the cylinders off in a minute. I just want to see. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's definitely some scoring along here. I can't really, it's not very deep though. I'll have to get the cylinders off and we'll have a closer look. Yeah, so here's the bottom of the cylinders here. There's some pretty bad scoring in there. You can see this side here. This would be the left side here, and this would be the right side here. But yeah, it's super deep. And again, there's more scoring right there on this side. Big long scrapes. So something wasn't happy. I'm curious to see what the ring gap is like now. Everything, when I put this together, everything was measured out all good and it was hunky-dory. I didn't think I was going to have this problem, but here we are. So I don't know what happened here. Oh, gasket's all good now. Alright. So, this is... So this will be this one here. Let's see if we can get this ring off. Just see what happened here. Yeah, it opened up quite a bit. It's not horrible, but it's definitely... What is that? That looks dirty. Looks like I can get a 30 in there. 30's tight. I could fit a 30 in there. That's... I'm pretty sure that's way too big. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's the top ring. Let's check the second one. Yeah, I'm not sure what the ring spec is on that, but I'm pretty sure 30 is too big. Like way too big. Okay, so that's this one here. $25. You can just no. Let's go a little bit bigger. 26. Yeah, 26. 26 and 30 thou. That's way too big. And let's see. Let's check this side. Yeah, it's huge. Huge. Yeah, I can just see that's huge. I think that's bigger than the other side. 35. $35's tight. Yeah, so 35 thousandths. That's way too big. Okay. Oh, the rings are, something's wrong here with the rings. Yeah, that's the right one. It's a little better, but it's still quite big. I don't have the piston off to really get that even, but I think it's pretty even. That's a pretty big gap too, actually. Here, let's see. Try 34. No. I'll go to 30. Oh, yeah, 30 fits right in. 32. Glides right through. We got a 34. Yeah, 34's tight. 32. So it's probably like a 33. I don't think I have a 30. And we got a 32. Yeah, 32. Well, the rings are definitely worn too much. So that's something. I haven't checked the oilers yet, but I could just just curious how this one looks. Yeah, so here's the oiler. Huge gap. I don't think there's a specification for the oil ring, but it's completely worn out. You can tell. I mean, that's a huge gap. It's off. I don't even think I have a gauge. I'll put my biggest one, my 40 on it. And it fits right through. So it's bigger than 40. So yeah, rings are shot. Okay. Well, there's your problem. Rings are shot. Yeah, same thing, huge gap. Yeah. I mean, there's not even any tension on this. Yeah, there's no tension. Like it's... Oh yeah, it's overheated or something. Something's not right with that. Okay, so these rings are shot. Same thing, there's no springy. Yeah, this one just falls right through. There's hardly any springy on that one. Yeah, and this thing's collapsed too. Oh, and if you look at it, oh weird. Look at the shape of this thing. You see that? I'll hold up something against it here. This oil ring here is here, see here. You see how misshapen that is? So that's not right. It's like it must, maybe it was like collapsed in there or something. It looks bent. You know, like if you... There might be something to that there. The other one like that? Yeah, that one looks a little funny too. You see that? See how it's bent down here? I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, these rings look foobarred. Alright, well, I think that's part of our problem here. I'm gonna look into this head and just check, make sure that the valve guide seals are okay. I have another set of rings. I'm gonna check and see if I can hone this out and measure and make sure I'm not oversized or anything. And with any luck, I'll be able to, you know, put new rings on it. I'm gonna have a close look at these pistons too, make sure they're not like cracked or anything. But I just wanted to get that part done. I'm gonna probably end the video here, and yeah, just wanted to you know, get started on it and look into the smoking problem. I think there's something to these rings, they don't look right to me. You guys might know better than I do. I haven't done a whole lot of these engines, so but something tells me they're just not right in there. So but yeah, I wanted to launch season 2 of the Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse bike, and if you like this kind of content, there'll be plenty more on this bike build to come. And I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Center Stand Mechanics out.